Now by continuation, then under our index.html, remember, under our index.html, which is our home page, then let us move on. The next section now is going to comprise the okay, let me comment out the footer like that. So now this last section, now section with id boxes, divider, class of container also. So just remember the first divider with a class of container, that is when we are styling them. So when we style a class of container, so the same format is going to apply to all. So that is the essence of using a class or id. They are both attributes. So it says another divider again with a class box. Remember, this divider with a class container is the one that comprises is the one that enclaved all these jargons, all these codes. So this is the closing tag here. This is the closing tag here of the first divider, and this is the closing tag of our section. Now the second divider, comprised the image, digital product.jpg, the image. So I have demonstrated the image tag before. The image tag, the headline, digital product creation course, the paragraph. So that is the second divider, which is with a class of box. So with a class of box. So maybe let me comment this one out also, so that let me take it step by. No, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. So now the second divider with a class of box. The essence of using class of box now is that when I'm styling them, the same format is going to apply to all, to the first and the second one. With a class of box, the image, you can see the image here, free web development as the headline. I use 3, the headline of 3, then paragraph. This is the closing tag of the second divider. The third divider with a class of box, the image, that is image tag, as you can see, then the headline, the heading tag, agriculture books author, the page. So then we now have the close tag of the third divider. The close tag of this one is here, and the close tag of the first divider, this one here. So then the closing tag of our section, this is the open tag of our section here. So, and here is the closing tag. Let us test it. Can you see now our first image? Our first image, second image, third image. Our first image with what? Digital product creation. Second image, can you see? So this is this word this word is the one that we typed inside our page, inside our paragraph tag. So, and this one here is the one for our heading. Why this image is for our image tag? For the first one, that is the first divider, 1, 2, 3. So that is for that. Now let us move to about. about. So let me remove all. Now footer, let me comment the footer out. Now and about also. Then we have the last section now with ID main. I told the essence of giving it attribute of ID so that we can able to style them. So now if I should apply a particular styling to the ID of main, then it's going to apply to all property, all elements under all tags under section. So like it's going to apply to what? Div, article, h1, p, like that, everything. So now our first divider with the class of container, the opening divider. So and here is the closing divider here. So that is for that. Then article. Now article with ID of main col. You can give it any name. You can give it any name. So my article now is the headline. Class is equal to page.title. Page.title about us. My heading is about us, and the heading tag is going to carry page class of page.title, because we want to write, it is article that we want to write here. It is article that we want to write here. So under the article now we are going to have paragraph tag, paragraph tag, which comprise this one. Our company provide education on website design, all. So then we now have the second paragraph with the class of dark. With the class of dark, we also provide daily news with the class of dark. So this is the end of our article. Now we now have sidebar. Now aside. What you got aside? It says the aside element represent a section of a page. Yes, that consists of content that is tangentially related to the content around the aside element, and which could be considered separate from that content. Such sections are often represented as sidebars in printed typograph. So when you are going through some website and from the side you now have some words separated at a particular angle, whether by left side or right side, so that is the work of sidebar. Then the tag we are going to use for it is aside tag. So with ID of sidebar. So we now have div class dark, then our our heading, what we do. So our paragraph. So this is what we enclaved inside the page. Then aside closing tag. So let us test it. As you can see now, our aside is what we do. Our aside, that our sidebar is what we do. It has not applied to it. So we are going to use CSS to style it, so that we are going to use CSS to adjust the segment of the page so that it can stand aside. So that is the work of CSS. But if you use CSS without using the sidebar, it won't work. Now that is for that. Let us move to surface.html. Come to surface.html. Surface.html. So then we remove this. We remove the comment. So let me put the comment here. Now The last section, which is section id of main, divider as usual, class of container, articles, the same thing, main code, then h1 heading with a class of page to title services. If you remember, the HTML service, it doesn't it has no article. It has no article. So it has no article, and it is when you are using article that your headline is going to carry what, a class of page dot title. So that is what I want you to notice. So then we have on other list with id of services. So with id of services, then under our on other list, then we now have list. As usual, you must have list under your on other list or other list. So we have list. The first list is this: opening, closing. So that is the first list, and we have HTML, website design, then our page, then we have our page, our paragraph, then we have what, the second paragraph, which talk about price. So the second paragraph talk about price, while the first paragraph talk about, okay, the words, the talks concerning the website design. So then we have list 2, data analysis. So that is the list 3, data analysis and machine learning training. So that is for that. You can, your other list can go as many as you want. That is as many as the service you are providing, or as many as what you want to put there. So that is just the work of that one. Then we have it till graphic design, how to write final year project training, final year project work, Microsoft Office training. So like that, then you put your price. So you use paragraph to put your price. So this is the closing tag of our on other list, and this is closing tag of our article. Then sidebar, under our sidebar also we have id of aside, like the one under about. Then we have h3, which is our heading. On that one we are going to get a quote, then get a quote. Then what do you want to use? We use form with a class of quote. Then we want to create a form where someone is going to, okay, I want to get a daily quote or a daily notification. So that is what we want to do now, using form. Div, label, name, input, as I have explained in our previous videos. Then the second one, label, email, input, email, like as I have explained. So with different div. The aim of putting it in different div is that so that we can style them separately. Then message, label, message, test area. Now in this place now we use test area. Why do you use test area? The test area is going to accommodate, it has enough space than the one of test. It has enough space, it is wider than the one of test. So then our button, which is send, so send, our button, the type of submit is send. Then the closing tag of form, closing tag of the first div here, this one here, this is the closing tag here. Then aside tag, I can see the opening tag of side tag here. Now this is the closing tag of side tag. Then the closing tag of the first one here of div here. So as we are typing the tag, then the closing tag is going to come out. So you don't need to trouble yourself on that. So that is the end of the session. Let us test it. Let us test it. This one has apply CSS here, so let me change it. It's like something has happened to our CSS. Let me change it. I know that something has happened to it here. So I know that some. Let me comment it out. Let me comment it out. Save. No, something has happened to it. Now our surface name. Can you see now? So this is the work of test area. It's very big. It's very big than the one of test. So email, name. You know that the one for name we use test. So let us check it back. Name. You see, input, type, test. Can you see? So that is for that. And the test area accommodates more spaces. So you can name, email, then message. You type it, what you want to get, then you can adjust it. You can adjust the test area as you want. So you can adjust it, then you click send. So it send it for you. So it load. So that is for that. Then we do what we now that is for our header. Yes, that's for what our now that is for our body. Now this is our header here. So home, about this area in total is our header. Now let us create our footer. Our footer. So I've created it already. I just commented it out. Let me remove the comment so that the footer can show. I'm removing the comment tag. So now the footer, you use the footer tag, then the page, the paragraph tag, the article study, the copyright. So that copyright, that C with run cycle. So the way it's going to display is by you using and copy without gap and copy without gap, then you use semicolon. That is how it's going to display. So let me test it here. You see the article study copyright at 2021. So you use and with copy without gap and semicolon. That is how it's going to display. So when we go to about, the same thing. Can you see? When you go to home, the same thing. Can you see? Now that is the HTML code for our 3 pages website. So the image that we use, I have already imported them here. So I have demonstrated how to import images. So if you don't know that, go back to the previous video how to import images either on Tribetit or on VS Code. So the same thing. So you don't need to stress yourself. The code works on Tribetit and VS Code. The same thing. So we move on to CSS in our next video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.